Alright, so initially I started doing some of these little short videos because a buddy of mine knew I was tinkering and playing with being a hobby machinist. I am actually, by trade, an ASE certified master technician. I actually have a technical certificate for A's, B's, and T's, and I'm a master in all of them, so I'm a triple master tech. Well, this was something I was playing with. What I've been doing for years and years and years is fixing cars, trucks, RVs, big stuff for the military. I also work on bikes, boats, jet skis, dabble with electronics, rebuild transmissions. I'm trying to teach myself a little bit of body work because over here I have my dream vehicle, Tri-5 Chevy truck, and it needs some body work. As of recently, I've been told, hey, why don't you do a little bit more on your video? We like that stuff. I will be honest and say I don't even know where to begin. This is a new thing for me, so I guess I'm going to give it a try and see where it leads. So today I need to finish up my truck. Where it started was with this guy down here. This is a fuel filter housing, and it has a fuel drain plug on it. Fuel drain plug started leaking. That's my dog Ranger. So what I did was I pulled this guy off and blocked him. The reason I did that, you can't buy this. It is not available. I've tried going through the dealers, local parts houses, tried going through Cummins themselves, their parts house, all kinds of stuff. Well, I was able to locate a new one by looking online, and that's actually an upgrade to the older, 97 to 2001 standard duties. Mine's a heavy duty high output, apparently, even though, and this is odd, it's a short bed. So, yeah. From what I understand, it was used as a quick pick or a quick pull or something like that, so it did not come with a bed. Apparently, the guys I bought it from put a bed on it. So, it's got a 305 high output 24 valve diesel in it, which is supposed to be super rare. I didn't even know they did them. The biggest I knew about was the 245s in this body style, but apparently this was, because of 2002, a 6-month only option before they changed the body style. When they changed the body style, they put a bigger motor in it. Well, this one's got some goofy stuff on the front end of it to make it all work. So, yeah. Anywho, with that filter sits right over the top of the starter. I had already cleared up the issue with it leaking, so the new diesel oil fuels decided, the new blends, I should say, they don't like rubber. These are, let me see if I can get it to focus a bit. These are rubberized aluminum crush washers, and they've been eaten up. So that was leaking on my starter, caused my starter to go out. Reason the starter went out was the inside of it got a good coating of diesel oil. I did not know this until just recently when I noticed a little puddle underneath my truck because it was sitting for 2 weeks while I was on vacation. Went to start my truck and it would barely crank. So the first thing I thought was my batteries were bad. No, my batteries were okay. Pulled the starter, checked it, and the inside of it was all destroyed. So got a new starter and it's going in. Can't find those O-rings, but I was able to find these guys. They're aluminum with a rubber coating on them, and they're a crush washer design. So we'll see what they do. Once I get done with that, it's a toss-up. I might be running up to Marysville, Washington to buy my buddy a car. But if that doesn't go through, I'll do a little video on this Buick Rendezvous over here. Lady had the transmission completely rebuilt in it, ran fine for a year, and wouldn't you know it, the flywheel cracked, so now when you start it, it makes all of this horrible racket and sounds like it's going to explode, and metal clanking and stuff like that. Took the cover off the bottom of it, the little inspection cover that's right in front of the torque converter, shine a flashlight up there, and you can see a perfect little break running right across it. So this guy's probably coming. And these are not fun because you have to pull the K-member out of the bottom. So the K-member is basically a stub frame that all of the suspension, the engine, the transmission, steering, everything bolts to that thing. So there's these 6 big bolts on the bottom, and you have to take, of course, the struts off of the lower links and everything else off of it, just so that way you can drop that K-member out. But then when you do, the engine and transmission will drop out the bottom together. Then you can lift the engine off, and then you can get to the transmission. So it's not too fun. Of course, there are a few other ways of going about it, like you can get a brace that runs from the radiator core support back to the firewall and hold up the back of the engine, and then you use the front motor mount, and then you can drop the K-member and drop the transmission, which is what I think I'm going to try and do, because the only thing I've got to do to this thing is replace that flywheel, but don't want to do a poor quality job. This lady came to me because I used to have a shop up in Buckley, Washington, and heard through a friend of a friend of a friend that occasionally I'll do a little bit of side work for people. I don't make much money at it, but it helps people out and always comes back to me. That's kind of like this thing. I actually own 2 motorhomes. I've got a Winnebago back over there underneath its cover, and this thing kind of fell in my lap. I got it for about 10 grand, books out at 49.6. Needed a fuel pump, and the lady just wanted to get rid of it. She said the first person to enter $10,000 would get it. So I went over and got decent enough credit. I was able to finance it, and yeah. So now I'm trying to sell that one over there, and that's our new plaything. But at any rate, this is about 7 minutes, getting a little bit long for me and running out of things to talk to. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the starter on the truck, finish putting the fuel filter in, and I'll give you guys an update as I go. See you then.